So good morning everyone. Welcome back to the last session of this molecular basis of inheritance, that is the DNA fingerprinting. So what is this DNA fingerprinting? So DNA fingerprinting is just like a comparison of DNA from a different sources to why it is capable of taking a different sources, because to establish the identity. So what is this DNA fingerprinting? It is a comparison of DNA from a different sources to establish the identity. So as you know that DNA fingerprinting technology has been applied to a wide aspects. So that is and to overcome the many problems, like it might be a, that is, it is very important to identify the culprits who have committed the crime, and also the disputes which are having in the parentage. So these are all the things which can be helped through this DNA fingerprinting. So fingerprinting is nothing but what? It is nothing but a comparison of a DNA from a different source to establish the identity. So and this is the technique which will helps in the establishment of the identity of a person by detecting and comparing a specific nucleotide sequence in the DNA of an individual. So what we are going to do here, we are going to compare the DNA of one individuals to the other individuals. So then the conclusion, whether what will be happen. So when we are going to compare one individual to the another individual, what will be the conclusion? Whether the particular person is committed the crime or not. So it is a technique which helps in the establishment to identify the person of to identify the person by detecting and comparing the specific nucleotide sequence in the DNA technology. This is a technique which will helps in the establishment of identity by a person by detecting and comparing a specific nucleotide sequence in the DNA of an individual. And this technique was developed by Alice Jeffrey and his associate. Alice Jeffrey and his associated. So what is this DNA fingerprinting? It is and this DNA fingerprinting is very important in the field of what? Forensic science. So it is a technique which will helps in the establishment to identify the person by detecting and comparing a specific nucleotide sequence in the DNA of an individual. So this technique was developed by Alice Jeffrey and his associates. So now next, what is the principle behind this of DNA fingerprinting? So like for example, in many cases there were a crime that has been committed told, like for example, in many cases there where a crime has been committed, but later on the culprit is held responsible for the crime. So this is the only possible one where when they were going for this DNA fingerprinting, and even it can also overcome the problems like disputed parentage. So when they came to the came for the parentage also, also that time the what will happen here, it is the one important technology or the technique which is going to come to rescue that parentage, hence who have the dispute in their parentage alone. So this is the one which is the technique which will come in the rescue of this crime as well as in the parental disputes. So as we know that each individual has a unique sequence of a DNA in the genome. So what is the principle of this DNA fingerprinting, or how they are going to analyze? By comparing the DNA sequence taken from the different source. right? So each individual has a unique DNA sequence in the genome. So for example, I have a different DNA sequence and you people have a different DNA sequence. If you compare to the other, so there are a different DNA sequence. So that different sequence and that certain segments of the DNA have a what base sequence which is repeated many a times. So the segments of a DNA which have a base sequence which will be repeated many a times. The length of this sequence and the number of times they are being repeated in the DNA which is unique in the person. So this is the principle behind of this DNA fingerprinting. So how do they do? The length of this sequence, that is sequence means what? The base pairing sequence. So and the number of times they are repeated in the DNA, it is unique to a person. So it will be differ from one person to the another person. So the length of a DNA sequence and how many times the sequence has been repeated, it will be differ from one person to the another person. So by analyzing the length of a DNA sequence and the number of times it has been repeated, so it is possible to identify the culprit. So that is how the principle behind of this DNA fingerprinting. Now moving on to the next very important, that is VNTRI. So what is this VNTRS? It is very important. They may ask for the 1 marks. So it is a DNA fragments with a repeated sequence. They are called as what? Variable number of tandem repeats. So they can ask for 1 marks to expand VNTRS, that is variable number of tandem repeats, which is also called as restriction fragment length polymorphism. So this VNTRS is also called as restriction fragment length polymorphism, that is RFLP. So DNA fragments with a repeated sequence that are called as what? Variable number of tandem repeats. Now next is DNA morphism, polymorphism. So what is this DNA polymorphism? So the inheritable mutation observed in the population at a higher frequency, that is called as DNA polymorphism. That is the inheritable mutation which are observed in the population at a high frequency, that is called as what? DNA polymorphism. Next, moving on to the next very important concept, that is what are the steps which is involved in this DNA fingerprinting. Moving on to the next very important concept of this DNA fingerprinting. So how this DNA fingerprinting has been used and how the technique has been implemented to get to know the culprits, right? So what are the steps which is involved in this DNA fingerprinting? So there are many steps which are involved in this DNA fingerprinting. First and foremost is the collection of the sample. So as we know that for any technique the sample is very important. Either it may be the blood or the saliva or the semen or the root hair or the skin cells, that is which is getting in the particular spot, right? So if for example, if the crime has been happened in a particular spot, we have to collect their blood, saliva. As I told that the first steps which is involved in the DNA fingerprinting is the collection of the sample. As I told, so the collection of the samples, it may be like a biological samples like a blood, saliva, semen or the root hair, skin cells, etc. from the crime spot. That is, the material has to be collected in the particular spot. Next is extraction of the DNA. So here what we are going to, whatever the samples which has been collected, we are going to extract it. That is, it is being subjected in a high speed centrifuge with a where it will separate the DNA from the cells. So we are going to extract the DNA samples that has been collected from the spot. So next is fragmentation of the DNA. Here what we are going to do that the DNA in the segments, it has been treated with the restriction endonuclease to obtain the small restriction fragments. As we know that the REN is a molecular scissors where it will breaks the DNA fragments into the what? Smaller restriction fragments. So that is how the fragmentation of DNA has been done. And fourth one is separation of the DNA fragments. So here the separation of the DNA fragments, which will be separated according to their length, which has been arranged in the electrogel slab by the process called as gel electrophoresis. What we are going to, depending upon the molecular size and the shape, the fragments, the DNA fragments has been separated according to the length, and the length they have been arranged on the electrophoresis gel. That is electrophoresis gel lab by the process called as gel electrophoresis. It has been in place to the gel electrophoresis. So then what will happen here, the nucleotides are produced distinct bands in a gel. So they are going to produce, after gel electrophoresis, the end will be the band formation. So they will form a distinct bands on the water gel. So whatever happen is then what will be the result of this gel electrophoresis is the double stranded DNA, it will be split into single stranded DNA by the action of alkaline chemicals. So that is how been done in the separation of a DNA fragment using the process called as gel electrophoresis. Next is the transfer of a DNA fragment to the nylon sheet. Here what we are going to do is, so the separated DNA fragments, whatever the DNA fragment is been separated, are transferred to the gel slab into a what? Nylon medium or the nylon membrane or the nitrocellulose sheet. So this technique, which is called as what? Southern blotting. So southern blotting, it is a very important technique where we are going to transfer the fragment to the nylon membrane or the what? Nitrocellulose sheet. So that process we called as what? That technique which is called as what? Southern blotting. So next is tagging the radioactive probe. So probe is what? Radioactive. That is a labeled synthetic DNA. So here what we are going to do that, so the nitrocellulose sheet, what we are getting from the transferred DNA fragments to the nylon sheet, that nitrocellulose sheet is the what? Is the probe which will act as a specific radioactive probe. So which act as what? It has been act as a specific radioactive probe. As I told that the probe is a radioactive or the what? Labeled synthetic DNA. So the that is nitrocellulose sheet is now incubated with this radioactive probe. So that probe which is act as what? It act as a specific nucleotide detector. So where it will detect some water radioactive, that is what has been placed in the nitrocellulose sheet. So it acts as a detector and it will binds to the specific nucleotide which is present in the DNA fragments which is present on the sheet. So probe means what? It is a radioactive labeled synthetic DNA. So the nitrocellulose sheet, what will happen? It is it's been incubated with this radioactive probes. This probe act as a specific nucleotide detector and it will bind to a specific nucleotide present in the DNA fragments on the sheet. So that is has been done in the radioactive probe. Next, what will happen? Audio radiography. So auto radiography means it is what will happen is this entire nitrocellulose sheet is what? X-rayed. So that means they have been taken and X-ray photographed. So what will happen? This this auto radiography only what? Detect the radioactive probes of a DNA which will appear like a dark bands. So whatever the nitrocellulose sheet, whatever the DNA fragments on that X-ray photograph, it has been what? It has been seen appear to be a dark band. Then what will happen? The position and the number of the dark points on the autoradiography are vary from person to person. As I told, the person from one person to the another person. So the fragments, the DNA will be, sequence will be differ. So it will be vary from one person to the another person by the unique or a specific to a person. So whatever the dark bands has been appeared on the radioaudiography, which is called as what? DNA fingerprints, which, that is called as what? DNA fingerprints. Last is the comparison. So here, whatever the DNA fingerprints which is came by the process of radioaudiography, so we are going to compare that DNA fingerprinting of the sample to the suspected person to identify the person is a criminal or not. So we are going to compare that DNA fragments, that is DNA fingerprint to the suspected person. So these are the steps which has been involved in the DNA fingerprinting. That is the collection of a sample, extraction of a DNA, fragmentation of a DNA, separation of a DNA fragments, and then we are going to transfer the DNA fragments to the nylon sheet, which is called as Southern blotting. So next is the tagging a radioactive probe and the radioaudiography and the comparison. This is the very important steps which has been involved in the DNA fingerprinting. Now, what is the application of the DNA fingerprinting? As I told, it is have a wide application. So, it has been involved, that is this DNA fingerprinting has been involved in the, that is which will helps in the forensic science where they can detect the crime, culprit of which has happened in the crime. That is the crime, that we can identify the culprit or we can also give a this what we call as parental disputes. That is the thing which has been have a wide application on this. So first and foremost, as I told, it is used in the paternity test to solve the parental and the offspring dispute. That is the one application. And next is it is useful to identify the criminals, and also it is used to for the studying the evolution to find out the genetic relationship between the different races, and it is one important thing where it helps to study the evolution, and also it will help to identify the immigrants. So these are the applications of the DNA fingerprinting. So this is a very important unit which will help which been asking in your exam for a 10 marks. So as I told before that, so DNA fingerprinting application and the steps, it is very important. So at the end of this lesson, the DNA fingerprinting, it has a wide application too. So this is the end of your lesson and a complete portion of your second PUC.